Mr. Curtis Young! How's it going? Good. My girlfriend said, Curtis, you are such a misogynist. I said, bitch, please. I bet you can't even spell misogynist. She says to me, Curtis, you're a male chauvinist pig. You're a male chauvinist pig. But what I realised about women that say you're a male chauvinist pig is that they're always fat feminist slags. Call it observational comedy, or whatever you want. But, you know, believe it or not, I'm not with her anymore. But I am interested in older women. Give me a cheer if you like MILFs. A lot of lads like older women now, like MILFs, they're sort of like 40 to 50. Some like them a bit older than that, 50 to 60, they're called cougars. Some like them a bit older than that, 60 to 70, and they're called panthers. But personally, I like them a bit older than that, dead. I mean, some of you cringe, but I've heard lads talking, and they always talk about how they want a girl to be tight. And I've got one word for those people: rigor mortis. Elephant through the eye of a needle. At this point, you're probably wondering, where is this freak from? I'm from Hull. Hull is a shithole like no other. Some people come and say, oh, I'm from a shithole way. It's like, you haven't been to Hull. It's the shittest place on earth. We were voted the country's worst town 2 years running. Literally nowhere, nothing's worse. You can't get a job in Hull anymore, at least. When I was back in Hull before I came to university, I only ever had 3 jobs. First one was in a library. I didn't like the library though, because you had to do everything by the book. So I thought, you know, what else? I'll become a postman. And as you may have noticed, that's why my jokes have excellent delivery. But, you know, they say nowadays, be your own boss. You know, like, do something yourself, do it off your own back. But they never tell you the failures, they only tell you the success stories. For example, I had an idea, but my sales pitch for hearing aids just fell onto deaf ears. But Hull is really shit. The younger generation don't quite get it because they haven't been there long enough. The older generation do, like my granddad. Most old people talk about the war, but my granddad will talk about the horrors of Hull before he tells us about the time he got trench foot. But the younger people don't really realise, because I went to school with a girl, and she's 19 now, but when she was 16, she had twins. And she shouldn't have a job or anything like that, so she's not had a great life. But they don't seem to realise, because she tweeted the other day, I'm sat on the sofa with a biscuit and a cup of tea, watching Dickinson's Real Deal. Hashtag, this is the life. People don't seem to get it. But people from Hull are really ignorant. You know, they're a bit wary of foreigners. Like you'll hear them say, oh, I can't understand these foreigners' accents. It's like, we're from Hull. The foreigners can't understand us. I was in a supermarket, and there was a foreign guy helping me. He did work there. I said, do you have any Post-it notes? He directed me to the pistachio nuts. There's clearly a bit of a barrier there. But I think, like, you know, foreigners get a hard time. They're just trying to, I don't know, have a good life. Sorry, I've gone all soppy. But yeah, they're just trying to have a good life, and Muslim people are getting really a lot of stick recently. But I think, you know, social networks don't do anything to help it. For example, Facebook is really discriminatory against Muslim women. I'll tell you for why. Is that, you know, Muslims, women, go out on nights out just like everybody else, and they take photographs. But the poor girl who has to upload those photos is met by a massive challenge. There's a picture, a group photo, of her and her friends all dressed in burqas. How does she tag the photo? Facebook, oh Facebook. But, you know, There's poor girls getting tagged who weren't even there that night. The comment section's kicking off. You skank bitch, where was my invite? But it made me think there, what Muslim photo albums, like Muslim family photo albums, must be more like a quiz. Or the world's hardest game of Guess Who. But as I say, I think Muslims get a hard time, and I don't mean it offensively in the slightest. I think you should be able to wear what you want. But you know, certain groups like terrorists and that sort of thing, give them the bad name or whatever. This is made no more plainly than when Muslims burnt poppies on Remembrance Day, because Facebook groups started popping up that were really inciting hatred towards Muslims. And I thought this was a bit unfair, but you got a gist of the stupidity of the people by the comments. And there was one particular comment that said, I'll try and remember as best I can. He says, "All right, mates, great support for this group. Send all the packy bastards back." Now, I'm not sure I'll be very happy because the people that burnt the poppies went from Pakistan. You know, it's not well researched in the slightest. But then he went on a bit further. You know, he said, first, they bummed the Twin Towers. Bummed it. It's a bit more than that, wasn't it? He said, first they bummed the Twin Towers. But then he loses all credibility. He says, first they bummed the Twin Towers. This is the Muslims. First they bummed the Twin Towers, and don't forget about Pearl Harbor. Idiots. But like, you know, I don't really like all religion, that sort of thing. It's not really my thing. But there's one religion that I quite like and love to tolerate, really. It's Buddhist, because you'll never see an extreme Buddhist, will you? You never see an extreme Buddhist like, fuck me, I'm relaxed. Nor will you ever turn on the news to see that a Buddhist has murdered somebody. But if you do ever see that a Buddhist has murdered somebody, you can be 100% sure that it was premeditated. Thank you very much. I've been Curtis Young.